My name is Kaitlyn Forsyth, and I am with LexisNexis. What we're talking about today is the LexisNexis Digital Library. And so this lending platform not only gives you access to the electric copies of the physical copies that you have in your library, but it also has a lot of different tools to help you navigate and organize your legal research. You either have the employee or the public. Public has the library card. Employee has the email address and PIN. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to sift through the content that you have available to you. We're also going to talk about some of the different tabs here that we have, as well as what the different pages have in store for you. So it's 3:01, so we'll go ahead and get started with the demonstration. So there are a few different things on the home page that you can see. You can see we have the recently read up here, as well as the My Annotations and the tags right over here. So this is all going to be different depending on who has logged in. So all of this is specific to your login. So nobody is going to be able to see your recently read or the notes that you've taken or the tags that you've created. All of that is going to be what you see on your home page. Now, what we can do to go through the content is we can either search right up top in the search bar here. We can search through title, author, practice area, anything like that. Or what we can do is go over to the left-hand side, click on the Browse Library page, and here you'll be able to see the collections that have already been created for you. And we can go in and add more collections, so you may see that change. This is the only page that everybody is going to see that is the same. The rest of all of these tabs, like I said, are going to be specific towards your login. But your librarians can put together collections for you, so it's a little bit easier to sift through these titles and the subjects in general. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here, and I'm going to expand on all of these 36 subjects that we have available to us. So I'm going to click on that, and here it categorizes the titles into jurisdiction, practice area, and content type. So let's just take a look at, we'll just choose here. I'm going to go into the treatise category because I want to show you what those multi-volume sets look like. So here we're looking at Bender's Federal Practice Forms, but you can see here that this is volume 1, volume 2, where we have these titles. We have 671 on here. That is because we classify each volume as a specific title on the digital library. But if you want to see what it looks like in the sets altogether, you can click on the sets tab, and here it puts them together in their multi-volume sets. So then what I can do is I can go over and view the set. And here I have the option to search all of the volumes right here. Here, what I can do is I'm just going to type in a very broad term here just to show you what those results look like. And on the right-hand side, it's going to pull every time that word is found and then show you the volume that it's in. Then we have a couple of other options. We have the go to passage option. And when you click on the go to passage, it opens you up right into that book, right on that page number, and then it highlights that term that you're looking for. If you want to share this specific section, you can click share. It generates a link for you, and then you can copy that link that you see right here. Click inside, you're going to see it say copied, and then that adds it to your clipboard where you can go and paste it anywhere you need. You can go paste it in an email, in a document, anything that you need to send that out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close this result here. And then I'm going to go down here and just show you what it looks like to look at one volume at a time. So I'm going to choose volume 5. You know what? No, let's not do forms. I'm going to go back to the Browse Library. And we'll choose another subject here. So we're going to do family law. So let's take a look at the California Family Code. I'm going to click on the cover image instead of going straight to read. And here's another way that I can actually search through all the volumes. Here it shows me that we have 4 volumes associated with this set, as well as the table of contents. We also have the description and the details. And searching through this volume, searching through all the volumes is going to show up as the same as searching through this specific volume. You can choose between the two. You also have the option to share this link to this details page. If you click in this link, you see copied. Once again, that's in your clipboard and you can paste that anywhere that you need to. Also, we had talked a little bit before on the homepage about adding tags, and here down at the bottom on the left-hand side, you can see my tags. Since I'm using this for my demo today, I am going to tag this title. So I'm going to click on that, create a new title, and tag this for my demo on March 9th and create. And there you can see that this title is tagged. And then we're going to circle back around to that when we hit this tab down there a little bit later. But for right now, let's go ahead and dive right into this title. I'm going to click read. This is going to open it up in my same browser. And it's going to take us right to the title image. Right at the beginning. Now, if you are familiar with Overdrive, such as apps like Libby or use the Overdrive app, this is the same company that helps us put out the digital library. So you may be familiar with some of the navigation. So here, if you click on the navigation button down at the bottom, you can load the pagination. So I'm going to let that load because this title is kind of hefty, so it may take a minute. So the way to navigate through this title, besides the navigation tool down here, is you can use your arrow keys to flip like a regular book. You can also take your mouse, put it in the margins and click if you don't want to use your arrow keys. Also, here there's a hyperlink key. You're going to see 2 types of links in all of our titles. You're going to see blue links and you're also going to see green links. The blue links are going to route you out to somewhere else within the title that you're currently looking at. And the green links will route you out to any other Lexis platform. So Lexis Plus, Lexis Advanced, where you can do further research on those platforms. So all of our products do work hand in hand together. We'll check on this and it's still downloading, so that's okay. So let's go ahead and try and search through this title that we're looking at currently. Down here at the bottom menu, we're going to start with find. And since we're doing family law, let's just do adoption for special needs. We'll narrow it down a little bit just to adoption. There we go. So if you type in a keyword, it'll also do key phrases. It will show you a mix of the different key phrase that you type in. So say if there was anything about adoption for special needs, it may find special need adoption, adoption for special needs, anything like that. But we're just going to stick with adoption here. And here it can show you where it's highlighted, give you an idea of where you're looking at the title. And if you click on one of the results, it'll take you straight to that page and then highlight the key term that you have typed in. Then here you can see the green links where it'll help you route out to the Lexis 360 login page. So say this is something that I need for my research. I now have the option to add notes and highlights. So I can click my highlighter tool for a quick highlight with whatever color I choose. And when I click and drag, when I release, it gives me the option to add a note. Again, this is for my demo on March 9th. and done. Here you can see the highlight has stayed. I also have a red indicator right at the corner, and that just shows that I have a note associated with this highlight. And if I hover over it, the note pops up. Now, if I deactivate my highlighter tool, I have a few different options here. So I'm going to click and drag again, but this time it's going to ask me if I want to add an annotation, which is what I just did before in this previous note, or I can copy with citation. And when I copy, it adds the highlighted section into my clipboard. And then when I go to paste it, it automatically generates the citation below when you paste it out. Also, if I click and drag, a few other options that we have is copy passage link. And what that does is it generates a link, and you can send that out to anybody that needs to find this page. Then when they click that link, it will prompt them to log into their digital library and take them straight to this passage. Another option we have is just highlighting one word, and then you can define the text. That pops up from the bottom, and it gives you the definition. It shows you where the definition comes from, gives you a few topics to look into, as well as gives you some options to explore out in different search engines. So now, since we've made an annotation down here, I'm going to click on my annotation button, where it just shows me where I made that annotation, what color highlight I use. It also gives me the option to delete that, because if you make an annotation, any notes and highlights, you can not look at a book for another 6 months or a year, however long you have this program, and that note will still be there. So if you want to keep them on there, that's great. If you need to take them out, that's fine too, but nobody else will see what you have done in this title. You guys can all work in these titles simultaneous, since you do have simultaneous use. There are a few titles in your collection that do not allow for simultaneous use, that has a one copy, one user. So you may have to place a hold, but it will ask you if you want to place it on hold, and then it will email you as soon as that becomes available. Do we have any questions so far? And feel free to put them in the chat, and then I can go back afterwards and check those out and answer those for you. So we've gone over find, annotations, highlights. Let's check out the navigation button and see what it's pulled up for us. So here we have the search tool where you can click and drag. It'll show you where you are percentage wise in the title. And then it also has the pagination in the parentheses. Then if I look, I can see my highlight right here, and I can click and it'll take me straight there. Also, let's say I don't need to highlight something on a certain page, but I want to bookmark that page. So I can go up to the top right-hand side, click on my bookmark. And then if I look at the navigation tool, there is my bookmark right there in the search tool. All right. And then we also have table of contents. That's over to the left here. And it's an interactive table of contents. So if you know what you're looking for within the title and you click, it'll take you straight there. I'm going to create another annotation just to go over that again, because I'm also going to show you how to export multiple notes after we get out of the text itself. I'm going to click Add Annotation. Demo number 2, March 9th, and done. And there's my other annotation. And then here you can see it reflects on my annotation menu. All right, so now we're looking at the 2 tail ends of the menu options. So first we're going to go over settings. So the great thing about the digital library is that it is so customizable for individuals. So what you can do is you can change that lighting. You can change the lighting on that. You can change the font. You can scale it up. You can scale it down. You can change the book appearance as well. And we also have a few options for those who have special needs for the book appearance. be different. So for example, we do have paperback if that makes it easier on the eyes, but we also have something called Open Dyslexic. And what that does is if you have dyslexia, that actually makes the font not so symmetrical and is supposed to help as well. And while I'm talking about that, if there are any users that need third-party applications such as screen readers for seeing impaired, we do work with those as well. So just reach out to us about how we can help you get acclimated with that third-party app, and we'll help you out. You can change the font. You can change the weight of the text and the spacing as well. So once you take the time to change these settings, you do not have to do it each time you jump into the title. Once you change it, it will go ahead and change all of the titles that you check out going forward. So now, last down here on this menu is we're going to talk about print. So print is going to be a little different because it is going to print by section. So it'll take you straight to a print preview. And here you can see it says pages 1 through 31. That is because that section that we are looking at currently is 31 pages. So we can go over and customize what we want to print out. If you only need pages 3 through 8, you can add that to the print preview. It'll pull that up for you. So then that way you're not printing anything that you don't need. All right, then you can save, you can print anything that you need to do. Cancel that out. All right, and so now the last thing we're going to talk about being within the title is go up to the right-hand side by the bookmark. And here's a little menu here. We've got some keyboard commands. This just helps you navigate with your keyboard, gives you some tips and tricks on how to navigate faster. You can do a one-page view as opposed to a two-page view, and that's what we've been looking at the whole time. You can also see where your bookmarks are, just like how we have the annotations key down here, but this one is specifically for bookmarks. And then we have some setting, print, and close book shortcuts, and then also a nice breadcrumb trail of where we've been in the title. All right, before we hop out of here, I see a few questions, and I'll go over those real quick. They're a way to cut and paste an excerpt of highlighted notes into a note. So yes, it's not a cut and paste per se, but that is going to be an export, and that's what we'll talk about here in just a minute when I go back. I'll go over how to log into the website when we go to the accounts page at the very end. So you cannot print a full, print a whole document or an excerpt. So yes, you can print portions of this. So say if we go over to annotations here, you can print your annotations right here. So if you need something printed, you can highlight that specific section and then print from there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and X out of here, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the menu on the left-hand side of the platform itself. So here we've talked about the Browse Library page, the My Books. It's just another history, reading history, and there's the title that we use today. And then I can go down to the My Annotations tab. And here you can see I have different annotations and different titles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the annotations that I've made today. And here you can see the highlight color, what I highlighted, the note, the citation, and when it was created. And if I want to export, I can click on these. It's going to prompt me to add to my export queue. So then if I go to my export queue, you can see I have these waiting for me. But say I want to go ahead and take some other notes from other titles that I've been in. So I'm going to go over to my family law annotations, click on those, and select those highlights as well. Then I can add that to my export queue. And if I go over here, you can see I have 4 annotations waiting for me. And now what I can do is I can select as many as I want or individually, whatever works best for you. And it's going to prompt me to export. You can save these in a Google Drive, PDF, or a spreadsheet. I like the PDF, and I'll show you what that looks like. And there, Lexis has created a nice, well-organized spreadsheet document of the notes and highlights that you have put together for yourself. You can print those out or save them however you need to. All right, now I'm going to go back to my export here. And now I'm done with all of my notes in my export queue. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out, and it's going to prompt me. I can remove from my export queue. I can go over to my annotations and see that they weren't deleted altogether. They were just taken out of the queue because they're sitting right here for me. And since I've used this title before, I'm going to also put this in my tag. So I'm going to click on the details page. It's already in a demo, but I want to go ahead and add it to my demo for March 9th. If you just start typing out the tag you want to use, it'll pop up for you. And there, now this title is in 2 tags. So then if I go all the way down to my tags page, you can see I have my tags right here. My demo for February 2nd had these 2 titles. And my demo for March 9th has these 2 titles. You can tag whatever titles you need. There is no limit to how many tags you can create. There is no limit to how many books you can put in one tag. Sky's the limit. That is specifically there to help with your research, to help keep you organized. So now we've gone over all of the menus over here. I'm going to go back home, and here you can see this is all updated now. This is the last title we went into. I've got my new tag sitting right there for me. And I have the new title that we use today. So we have a few things here. We have a help button, and that does have some troubleshooting options. You can go into this site, but if for some reason you're having trouble and you need to contact somebody, please feel free to reach out to me or Andrea. We work very closely with Overdrive, and we work very closely with the content team. So if you're having issues, please let us know. We will get you a solution a lot faster. And then we also have a send feedback button. If you find that there's something that we are doing well, we'd love to hear from you. If you think that there is something that we could do better, we are always open to listen to constructive criticism, because we are always trying to move forward with the times and make sure that we have the best product for our users. So again, if you find that you have any feedback to give us, we'd love to hear it. I have another question here. Yes, you can. The question is, as a patron, can I read the content on my tablet? Yes, we actually have a mobile app. And I have a mobile app flyer that with a QR code, but if you just go onto your tablet, it is supported by Apple or Android. It's just the LexisNexis Digital Library. And if you go in through the app, it will ask you to give your library code. So just remember that's ACLL. And then it'll ask you for a drop down. In fact, you know what? I'm going to show you just a sample of what this looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out here while I'm still sharing my screen. So here, if you were using your library code, type in ACLL. Then you're going to come to this page. You either have the employee or the public. Public has the library card. Employee has the email address and PIN. So once you go into the app and you type in that library code, then it will ask you to, it'll prompt you to use the drop down to whatever access you need. All right, so we'll go over to the library now. Okay, so here I'm on the patrons access. So here what you can do when you see it says read, you click, and instead of doing read right away, it has you click borrow. You can, some of them have different lending periods just depending on the type of title that it is. I can borrow. It's going to open up for me. And load. And then I'm going to go ahead, do my work in there. And then once I X out of it, I can go over to the My Books tab. And here you can see on the right-hand side, there's that clock I was talking about. You click, and then you can return early. I see a chat here. So when you say the benefit to downloading the text, are you saying just because it says downloaded right here? Really, when they say download, that is going to be your offline reading. So when you are somewhere and don't have, say if you're on a plane, what you can do is you can pre-open the title, and that it will download to your machine, but it will not download the way that you think. So you cannot continue to access it once you return it. And once you exit out, it will no longer be downloaded to the device. So the benefit to downloading is if you're reading offline and don't have mobile data. Any other questions? Great questions. All right, well, I'm going to stay on if anybody else does have any questions. But like I said, this is the digital library. We've gone over all of the tabs. We've gone over the navigation and different features that we have. I hope everybody learned something new and is really excited about this product. I know that they were really excited to roll it out, and Lexis is looking forward to working with all of you. So if you don't have any more questions, have a great day, and I hope to hear from you soon.
All right, great. Thank you very much.